What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another episode. I'm SwipaCam. Welcome to my channel. So I just got done watching the debacle that was the Denver Nuggets versus the Los Angeles Lakers on February 4th, 2021. And the final score of that game was 114-92. And that game was absolute hot garbage. I am so frustrated. I'm not going to lose it, though. I'm not going to scream. I'm not going to yell. It's not like I would anyway, but I want to. Every part of me wants to. The Denver Nuggets were up 12 points at half. And as we have all talked about all year, every time they're up double digits, it's going to be at least a single-digit game. If not, they're going to lose the third quarter outright. Against the Miami Heat, they were up 25 points at half. They went into the fourth quarter up 9. They were beating the Dallas Mavericks by double-digit points and were down going into the fourth quarter. So I knew that they were going to likely be either tied or down. And sure enough, the Denver Nuggets went into the fourth quarter after being up 12, down 8. They were outscored 37-17 in the third quarter, and the offense was nowhere to be seen. I want to say that the Denver Nuggets had 34 points in the second quarter, the second half, 34 points in the second half. Look, y'all, it's not that I don't like the LA Lakers. I like LeBron James. LeBron James is one of my favorite players of all time. I love his game. I love who he is off the court. I'm a LeBron James supporter. He is either the first or second greatest player of all time, but Michael Jordan, and right up there as well is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I like Anthony Davis. He's the best Robin, the best sidekick player in the NBA. But the way that they talk about the LA Lakers, TNT, ESPN, it's feeding into this narrative that the Lakers are just this superior team in every way. I had to listen to 4 minutes of the LA Lakers being celebrated because of hustle stats. Up to a point in the third quarter, LeBron James was a -5, and they would not stop talking about him. So I'm watching TNT. I love listening to Reggie Miller most times. I love listening to Kevin Farland. But when the LA Lakers are playing, it's going to be a mess. An absolute mess. Because they're going to hype up every single possible thing they can to hype up the Lakers machine. It's not that the Lakers themselves are the issue or the players are the issue. It's the culture surrounding LA. This is a team that for 6 years was trash. 6 years. They signed LeBron James. He misses the year. Anthony Davis decides, I want to play in the biggest market in the U.S. I want to play for a city that's on the beach on the West Coast. And all of a sudden, they go from missing the playoff for 6 years to winning an NBA championship. But when you're the Denver Nuggets, that's not how it works. You suck and you suck and you suck. You find in the second round, 41st overall, Nikola Jokic, a freaking Hall of Fame player out of nowhere. Jamal Murray falls to you with 7 in the 2016 draft, and Michael Porter Jr., because of back injury, falls to you with the 14th pick in the 2018 draft. That's how you get an elite team. But if you're the Lakers, you walk into it, and everything you do is spectacular. Again, this ain't to take away. LeBron James, 27 points tonight, 10 rebounds, 10 assists. He was a plus 21. But again, that goes to show you. So basically from the middle of the third quarter to the end of the fourth quarter, he was a plus 25 points because the freaking Nuggets can't play a third quarter to save their lives. Jokic tonight, 35 minutes, 13 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists, 6 of 16 from the field, -8. Worst game of the year by far. But think about it. The Nuggets just lost 21 points to the Lakers, and he was a -8. So that goes to show you what it was like when he was not playing tonight. Jamal Murray was a -17. Really didn't play that bad. It's the team wasn't playing well at all. No issue. The Nuggets were all pluses. They were all pluses going into the third quarter. The third quarter, they are one of the bottom third teams in the NBA in the third quarter. That is the problem. For some reason, they cannot save a third quarter to save their life. And that's how you lose basketball games. But the Nuggets are still top 4 seed in the West. It's not that big of a deal. But the fact of the matter is, when the Nuggets are playing on ESPN, TNT, when they're playing these major market games, they have to show up. This is how Jokic wins MVP. Games like this. Joel Embiid did not play well tonight. He had 35 points, I believe, but they got demolished by Portland Trailblazers that doesn't have Nurkic, Damian Lillard, or CJ McCollum. You got to win games like this. When you're up 12 against the LA Lakers, they're up 3 in the first quarter, you have to win these games. And they don't show up. It's the third quarters. I don't know what it is. It's so frustrating watching this game. Like, again, the way that the broadcast is working tonight, like, did the Nuggets play? Like, they kept talking about LeBron or Embiid for MVP, and I'm like, do you not realize that Jokic is averaging 27, 12, and 8.6 assists? But, man, when you don't show up, when you lose games like this, you see, Anthony Davis can play this way, and people are like, oh, he's Anthony Davis. LeBron can play this way. Oh, he's waiting for the playoffs. Jokic doesn't get that. Jamal Murray don't get that. They don't have that kind of respect. It's not because they ain't great players. It's because they play for the Denver Nuggets in a small market. This game started off so well, y'all. Jokic started off killing. The last 7 games before this, Jokic is averaging 30, 12, and 5, shooting 58% from the field. So everybody's expecting a big game. He got 13, 10, and 6 tonight. They started off great. JaMychal Green started off with a 3-pointer. Like, throughout the last several matchups last year, I mean, I believe the Nuggets, they were like 2 and 8, I believe. Maybe. They were 2 and 7 versus the Lakers last year. But the point differential was less than 2 points per game. So not like they were getting beat, like swept off the court. They just were losing tight ball games. But today it got blown out. And because of the third quarter, had the Denver Nuggets scored underneath 100 points this season? I can't even remember. Y'all, we are 21 games to the season. I can't remember the Nuggets not scoring 100 points. Like over 106 points a game. So for them to go this cold tonight, let me read this to you. So again, they had like 58 points at the half, right? They ended the game scoring 35 points. And again, the Lakers played good defense, but the Nuggets just went cold. So they shot 39% from the field, 36 to 92. Awful. That's worse than they shot against the Utah Jazz when the Utah Jazz beat them when they were 40 of 100. 29% from the three-point line, 8 of 28. 87% from the free throw line, 13 to 15. 15 turnovers, only 19 assists tonight. They won the rebounding battle, demolished 43 rebounds to 39 rebounds, 16 offensive rebounds to 7 offensive rebounds. With 8 steals. Dominated the glass. But what happened? Weren't hitting anything. Here's the thing. I don't even want to go through the game notes, y'all. Let's just talk. I don't even want to go through the game notes. This is why having Facu Campazzo, Monte Morris, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. We don't need Facu Campazzo and Monte Morris in the playoffs. We don't. Because that is not going to do. Tonight, Facu plays 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Because Facu can't do anything against the LA Lakers. Again, I know that y'all like want to see Facu against Caruso. Like, I get it, high energy effort matchups. Fact of the matter is, Facu is not going to be able to play in the playoffs against that team because every player they have is 6'5", except for Dennis Schroeder, who is lightning quick and strong. They're too big. What is the point of having Facu Campazzo, Monte Morris, and get Will Barton starting at 3? Like tonight, they had to start JaMychal Green at the 3 just to contend with the rebounding and see if they can slow up LeBron James. It doesn't make sense. The formation of this team for the playoff, the formation of the team for an NBA Finals, it doesn't make sense. Jamal Murray started this game off well, by the way. He had a banger. Jamal Murray had a banger down the lane on Anthony Davis. I thought the Nuggets were going to sweep the game, man. I thought the Nuggets were going to sweep the game. Missing Gary Harris tonight. Missing PJ Dozier, missing Greg Whittington. I mean, I don't know what y'all want us to do, man. Like, if you don't have wings that can play defense against LeBron James, if your players aren't hitting three-pointers, you're going to lose the game. So all this happening, and so Anthony Davis can't guard Nikola Jokic. Marc Gasol can't guard Nikola Jokic. LeBron James, Montrezl Harrell, they cannot guard Nikola Jokic. But if you put all three of those players, if you put AD, Marc Gasol, and LeBron James within the passing lanes next to Jokic, it's going to cause problems unless his teammates are hitting shots, which they were in the first half, and then they just went cold. 37-17 in the third quarter. It's unacceptable. They can't keep doing that. They have to figure that quarter out, because when you get in the playoffs, you don't have room. You don't have the room to shoot that way. They have bad quarters every game like that. This is terrible in the third quarter. They're terrible. Great first quarter team. Great fourth quarter team. But you can't put so much pressure on the fourth quarter. You can't do it. MPJ didn't play well tonight. MPJ has historically played decent against the Lakers. Tonight he didn't do anything. Missing rotation, missing defensive rotation, missing defensive assignments. MPJ tonight, 8 points, 0 of 4 from the three-point line and a -9. Monte Morris a -13. Just a bad basketball game, y'all. They were up 58-46 at half, man. It doesn't make sense. I mean, Jokic at half, 7 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists. But I was like, that's cool. The team's playing well. Jamal Murray was playing well. But nobody else showed up, man. Paul Millsap had 6 rebounds in the first quarter, basically. Paul Millsap just can't play. I mean, again, man, I don't know what to tell you. You cannot play Paul Millsap in this matchup. He is just aged out of this series. You can't play him against Anthony Davis and LeBron James. Who's he going to guard? He can do decent in the post, but he can't guard him in space. Then you put JaMychal Green out there. He's not a good space player. He can shoot the three, but you can't put that around Jokic. This roster formation is so frustrating. Again, y'all, I know this one game. The Nuggets are 11-5 in their last 16. It's not a huge deal, but I don't understand the roster formation. I know, again, let me also say this. The Nuggets thought they had Drew Holiday. They thought they were getting Drew Holiday in the offseason until Milwaukee Bucks added 3 first-round picks and 2 swaps. They had 5 first-round picks, basically, to get Drew Holiday. They lost out Jeremy Grant. He didn't just leave for a bigger role. The Detroit Pistons are the only team in the NBA that have a black general manager and a black head coach. He wanted to play for the only combo with black head coach and a black general manager in the NBA. He wanted that. An admirable desire. He's right to have that desire. The NBA needs to continue to address that problem for many other reasons. But again, that's a whole nother episode. So we lose out on Drew Holiday, then you lose out on Jeremy Grant, then you give up Torrey Craig. You ain't got the wing defenders. Greg Whittington's out at least for the next 3 to 5 weeks with knee injury. So, and then PJ's not playing, Gary's not playing, but they're still too small. Because LeBron would have had it way with it. It just doesn't make sense, y'all. JaMychal Green needs to be playing the 4. Don't put him at the 3. Start MPJ. Do what you need to do. Jokic needs help. Jamal Murray, again, he started off hot. Really, y'all, we can't put this. Michael Malone, he's going to figure it. He's going to figure it out. Tim Connolly, they have to get a wing by the trade deadline. They have to figure out the third quarter. They have to, or else this is what you're going to expect. You know what? If the Denver Nuggets in the first round, if they play right now, they'll play the Trailblazers. They'll beat the Trailblazers. They can beat the Suns, but then you got to play either likely the Utah Jazz, and I hope they play the Utah Jazz. I hope the Jazz are the number 1 seed so the Nuggets can play them, please. But you're likely going to have to play the Clippers and the Lakers in the second round, y'all. So now what? It's frustrating, man. I want Jokic to win the MVP. I'm tired of the disrespect. Give the man his flowers. He's been the best player in the NBA this year. Him, Joel Embiid, best 2 players in the league this year. LeBron James had a game tonight. Jokic didn't have a great game. But the Nuggets going to have to figure out that third quarter, man. That's it. That's the episode today. It's disappointing. Man, I thought that we were going to have better news tonight. I thought basically the way the game started, too. And tomorrow, they play their worst nemesis. They play the freaking Sacramento Kings, who they're 0-2 against. The Kings are 10-11, and 2 of their wins are against the Nuggets, man. And then they play the Bucks, which I'm really not worried about that game because they actually play really well against the Milwaukee Bucks. They beat them twice last year. They beat them once the year before. They're 3-1 in the last 2 years, but now they got to play the Sacramento Kings. Man, anyway, that's going to do it for this episode. I'm SwipaCam. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the logo. Let's continue to build this community together. We will be back tomorrow night. I appreciate y'all. I will see you soon.